I am going to do a real quick video. This is before I start my walls by putting up the sheathing on the walls. But what I've got done so far lately is I've been putting the ceiling panels up, which are some shiplap siding that you can see here. I've been putting it in 8-foot sections. There's still going to be a seam piece that's going to go over that, where I'm butting up the 8-foot pieces. The insulation is on the walls, as you can see. And it's the middle of winter here, so I'm trying to warm it up with my little heater. But I'm going to be starting on doing some sheathing on the walls, and I thought I'd better film a little bit of it before it gets covered up. Love the way the ceiling's turning out. It's looking pretty good. And things are going to be moving along once I actually start covering up the walls. But I wanted to show what the insulation is basically like in here before the ceiling goes up. So I know I've talked about this before, but what I've got is there's a piece where it's still open to the bare ceiling, and those little blocks are glued on pieces of solid foam panel insulation that I've cut pieces of and glued on to the bottom side of the roof. Then I put Reflectix in between the joists there, so you can kind of see how that's friction fit into there. And what that does is that leaves an air gap. There's an air gap between the roof and the Reflectix, so that'll help have an insulated gap. Then what I've done is I've added the mineral wool insulation between there and my nail-on strapping, which has been glued on to, these wood strips have been glued on to the original aircraft joists. You know, I guess they're called trusses that hold the ceiling up. So then there is the friction fit insulation. And then from there goes my shiplap ceiling boards. So there you have that. Kind of gives you a documentation of that. And I have left some areas open, which I haven't figured out what I'm going to do yet. There's the area where my microwave's going to be up there, and I haven't figured out exactly where that's going to be vented yet, so I haven't finished that. But moving along, so that's just a little bit of an update. And like I said, now that I'm going to be putting wall sheeting on, it's going to go pretty fast, and I'll be able to cover this up. So I'll give you an update after I get to that point.